Welcome to Wisdom for Nonprofits, bringing the best business wisdom to the nonprofit world. Proven leaders share their experience, insights, and best practices. Finally, a podcast for the busy nonprofit professional. And now, your trusted advisor, Bettina Meyer-Flug.
Hello, nonprofit professionals. We're here today at Better Business Bureau, an amazing facility, and with Jennifer, I can say a friend of mine. She's been involved in nonprofits for a while, and she will be here talking with us about accreditation and how this can reflect the image you have from your nonprofit. Jennifer, tell me a little bit more how you got involved in nonprofit work.
Well, thank you for having me today. I started back with a women's nonprofit in Fort Collins and worked as their public relations and marketing and volunteer coordinator, and I loved my job. And that nonprofit transitioned to some different services. We had served underserved women in the community with medical needs, mammograms, etc. So it was exciting work, and I came across an opportunity with Better Business Bureau serving Northern Colorado and Wyoming. They were looking for a business specialist to work with their accredited businesses in their territory. And I applied, and it was the beginning of my dream career. I worked with accredited businesses, helping them really solidify using the accredited business brand, the BBB brand, to build their business, to help them connect with consumers. And it really was a fabulous entry into the world of BBB. In about 2016, I said yes to an opportunity to transition to our foundation. Our BBB is fortunate enough to have an amazing foundation, and that's where I went to work, working with nonprofits in the community, helping them navigate the charity evaluation program that I'm so passionate about. I also work with students from University of Wyoming, University of Colorado, and UNC, and that is through our intern ethics program for our Torch Awards, which is really exciting to work with young students that are getting ready to launch their careers and have them work with us to really elevate our marketplace role models. And then lastly, I work with our military and veterans at FE Warren Air Force Base in Cheyenne. And I help them identify scams and fraud and connect with bbb.org to find businesses, brands, and charities they can trust. We want to keep their identity safe, and they really are a demographic that's targeted for scams. So my outreach roles are vast, but they are dear to my heart, and BBB is just an amazing place for me to thrive.
Talking about heart, I remember you mentioned you work for a nonprofit that helps women with cancer.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. And it was very rewarding work. I didn't know it would ever lead me to BBB, but this is where I was meant to land.
I can't believe it. And tell me more about BBB. BBB is a national-wide organization, and we are here in Colorado, but can you tell me how BBB positioned themselves all around the United States? And
Absolutely. International Association of Better Business Bureau used to be known as our council, and under council there are over 100 independent Better Business Bureau offices through the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and those offices, as I mentioned, are all run independently. Not all of them have foundations, not all of them have the same programming. We all have the same mission, which is to help consumers find businesses, brands, and charities they can trust, but we all do our outreach in different ways, all under that mission and vision. So that's really exciting. There are 3 Better Business Bureau offices in the state of Colorado. We are the Northern Colorado and Wyoming office, so we serve north of Firestone all the way into Wyoming. with the exception of Jackson Hole and the parks areas. And then we are west out to all of the mountain communities, Aspen and Glenwood, and then we're east out to Sterling. And then we have sister BBB offices that serve Denver and Boulder, and then Colorado Springs. So for the state of Colorado, we have some amazing BBB offices that are out there to help you.
And all of them here in Colorado, they have an arm for nonprofits?
Yes, the programming does vary between the three offices, but we do all focus on nonprofits in one way or another.
That's great. And can you explain how does it work, this charity accreditation?
Absolutely. So BBB Charity Evaluation is a program that really our nonprofits can take part in. If you are a 501c3 organization, if you solicit the public for funding and you are in our region, that Northern Colorado or Wyoming region, then you are eligible to participate. And the Charity Evaluation Program is based on the 20 standards for charity accountability. And these standards were originally developed by our BBB Wise Giving Alliance, and our local offices have adopted these, and they are 20 standards that basically lead an organization to best practices. There are 4 categories, and those categories fall under governance, results reporting, finances, and lastly, truthfulness and transparency. So we make sure these 4 categories really guide our nonprofits through those 20 standards. And we have a charity analyst and myself that will work as your local representatives. We are there to hold your hand and help you work through this online evaluation. We generally ask that an organization take 6 weeks to get through the process. Some get through it very quickly, others need some more time. But it is an online process, it is self-paced, and then we provide many tools that really help the success of the organization. Templates, information on specific standards. Some organizations have things in place and they work well for them. Some are new organizations or they haven't had specific standards in place. So the goal is not to have everybody conform to a single way of doing their nonprofit work. It's to really identify who they are, how big they are, how long they've been in business, and help them meet these standards.
Do you think having an accreditation can help the nonprofit somehow? Why is it so important in your point of view?
Oh, I'm passionate about BBB accreditation. And the reason I feel it's so important is that accreditation is a critical element for nonprofits to use to easily demonstrate that their charity is committed to best business practices, that the organization is truthful and transparent, and that their organization is worthy of that support from donors and funders as well as the public that they serve. BBB accreditation really signals trust and transparency. It's a beneficial tool in building a nonprofit's brand. And with a plethora of worthy nonprofits all vying for limited funding, accreditations helps your organization rise to the top and instill confidence in donors and funding organizations. It just really sets you apart. It's really a fabulous tool.
You were mentioning the timing to input everything online. Sometimes takes 6 weeks, for more organizations take longer. And do you think this accreditation process helps them also go back to their organization and be more organized, have all the information available? And is this the other way around? Does this bring benefits internally in your point of view?
That's a really great point and question, and I'll say yes, it does. Feedback that I generally get after a nonprofit has become accredited is that their staff, their board, even their volunteers will come back and say, this was an amazing experience. I was involved, I was engaged, but I never really understood fully maybe what our mission was, or how important our financials are to our organization, or the importance of brand marketing, of who we are and what we do. And through your BBB profile, that lives at bbb.org, and that really makes it easy for a board member or a staff member to say, thank you so much for asking about our organization. I would love to direct you to bbb.org, pull up our profile, and you can learn everything you want to know about how we meet best practices and how we're worthy of your time, talent, or treasure. And that's what our funders are looking for. An organization that has met charity standards and is accredited can say that they are truthful and they're transparent, and all of the information is available with the click of a mouse, or the swipe on your phone, and a funder doesn't have to dig too deep. They know that you really put a lot of value and importance on being transparent and trustworthy.
Yeah, you mentioned the board members. Do you think that it's important for them to be involved in the whole process or not?
I do. And the reason I feel strongly about that is when I hear from nonprofits, especially those nonprofits that have that amazing board where they're really engaged in, and they're invested in their time and their money, they are willing to go the extra distance for that organization if they feel like they really have a job to do and they have a purpose. And I always suggest to the board officers that you really look for a job description and take that seriously and connect yourself with a process like charity evaluation, because this is the path that will teach you the most about the workings and the best practices of an organization. Just looking at a financial once a month in a meeting really isn't a good window into the work of that nonprofit. But going through this evaluation program, you are working through those 20 standards, through those 4 categories, and you get a nice overview of everything that this organization means in the community, what they do and what they need, how you can help them improve and grow.
And help them also prepare their speech when they're talking with funders,
Absolutely.
with foundation donors.
Absolutely.
And if the organization doesn't have all the required information, how should they proceed? Prepare before contact you, or BBB helps them get ready?
Well, that's another good question, and that's what's so nice about myself and Jim being able to work with you directly. BBB is a third-party evaluator of nonprofits. So we will look at your organization and say, how can we help you through these standards? If you're not quite ready to start the process, I always begin with either an in-person meeting or one of my group presentations. Sometimes they're a longer series, sometimes we do what we call an express series. And that allows me to go over who BBB is, what charity evaluation is, what documents you'll be asked for, how best to answer those, give you those examples and those templates, walk you through that online evaluation so you see what each tab requirement looks like, really to get you comfortable and get your feet wet. I can do that also by providing you information through an email. And you can take a look at that, start gathering some of that information. But however you decide to go about it, we are here to help you through the process and answer any questions. We're very prompt at getting back, and we want to make sure that when you're in the middle of this evaluation and you've got a question, we can help you move through that and feel confident that the information that we're asking for, you're able to make sure you have in place.
So even if they're not ready with all the documentation, they can start a relationship with you. That's the best point.
Absolutely. We want to make sure you have a profile at bbb.org, and that initial profile has the name of the organization, address, phone number, email, website, who the primary contact is at the nonprofit, what your mission is, what type of charity, how you're classified. All of that information is what lives in that profile. We want consumers and volunteers and board members and of course donors to be able to find you at bbb.org along with our other 4.5 million business records. So that's where we start. We build that relationship, and then I get you started, and I'm there to hold your hand and make sure you're a success.
This accreditation is only for already existing organizations, or a brand new one can apply?
For already existing nonprofits to go through the evaluation process, we usually suggest that you've been in business a minimum of a year, and the reason for that is you then have a sampling of financials, an annual report, a 990, all of the information that we're going to ask you questions about. Usually 1 year in existence will give you that baseline to start. But the caveat to that is I love to get in front of that entrepreneur, that is ready to set out and start a nonprofit and needs to know what are those best practices and how can BBB help me. That's when I love to get our information in your hand, still have a conversation with you, let you know these are the 20 standards that you should start building your nonprofit on, and when you're ready and you feel comfortable, we're here to support you. And then again, once you are a nonprofit, we will certainly get that profile started for you as well.
That's great. So you kind of give them a guidance to how to operate before they get to the first year. Is that right?
Yes. I want to hold your hand and help you out.
And what is the cost involved in this accreditation? You have to pay an annual fee, or how does it work?
Charity accreditation is absolutely free to the 501c3 organizations in our Northern Colorado and Wyoming region, and I'm so proud to say that. Our BBB office truly believes in connecting our accredited businesses with our accredited charities. Each can help one another. And the Charity Evaluation Program is funded through very generous donations from our accredited businesses, as well as funding through our BBB Foundation. So we really are focusing on bringing this program to those nonprofits, not charging them, providing them with the help and the service that they need to meet those standards so they can really build their brand, go out for funding and donations, and not feel like they need to market their organization and maybe have financials and fundraising materials that they have to go out and pay for. Once you put those items together, we're going to look at those, and hopefully through your accreditation with BBB, it's really your number one tool to build that brand. And again, it's all available at no charge.
That's great news, because I remember, I think a year and a half ago when you guys started, the cost was kind of $100 a year.
That's to license the seal, and that would be the next step. So once you are accredited, it is completely optional, but highly encouraged that you commit to licensing the BBB Charity Seal. And what that means is, once you're accredited, we have your profile. BBB includes you in much of their marketing, in our newsletters and social media. But for $100 annually, you then have access to our library of charity seals for electronic and print marketing, to use on your website, to use in your newsletters, to use in any marketing or events or appeals, to use in your voicemails. Anytime you have an event, we have materials that we provide at no charge. Your charity plaques, vehicle magnets, decals, all of that is available to your organization at no charge, and that is how you are building that brand. So the use of those seals and additional items to market your nonprofit internally, that's where that $100 seal allows you to do that.
Oh, I got it. And can you be more specific on the benefits that the BBB Charity Accreditation can bring to an organization? using the seal for sure in all the material and events, but what else?
There's many benefits. Besides aligning your nonprofit with the brand that donors trust most and building those best practices, engaging your board and staff, and furthering your mission, BBB offers great opportunities to advertise your brand through, again, your charity profile at bbb.org and also through Wise Giving Alliance at give.org. It lives in both places. Your accredited charity plaques, your decals, your magnets. You can also advertise any upcoming events through our social media platforms, our website, our electronic monthly newsletter. And then we also have an amazing job board where you can post any open positions for staff, board members, or volunteers. So we're really giving you many avenues that you can advertise the needs for your organization, but also ways to support and draw new donors and new volunteers to your business and your nonprofit. So the really exciting piece, and we're here today, is making our brand new community center available to all of our accredited businesses and accredited charities. We went through an entire building remodel last year, and we moved back into our space in September. And we now offer a large community room, our Ignite room, and then our Spark room, and a smaller one-on-one conference space. And those can be reserved by our nonprofits and used absolutely free of charge. We have full AV capabilities for your presentations, seating arrangements to suit whatever needs you have, and we have great access off of I-25 and the Windsor exit. We have a park, so lots of space, whether it's a retreat or a presentation, a board meeting. We really are excited to invite our nonprofits and businesses into the BBB office.
I can tell it's true. Here in person recording this podcast, this amazing facility in a meeting room here with Jennifer. Yes, you should come and check it out. It's beautiful.
We'd love to have you.
So does the organization need to repeat the process every year? How does the accreditation renewal work?
Great question. No, you do not need to repeat the process of going through our entire evaluation of 20 standards. What you will need to do is on your anniversary date, we will automatically reach out to you by email and we will say, congratulations on another year of accreditation with BBB. We love partnering with you. Provide us with the following information. And we usually ask for something similar to confirmation of your incorporation date and the size of your organization. We ask for your most recent audit or updated financials, whichever apply to your organization, your 990, board roster, attendance from your last 3 meetings, and a few examples of your solicitation materials. And our charity analyst will take a look at that, make any updates to your profile, make sure that everything looks good. And the second part to that is BBB is known for our really clean data and providing consumers and clients with the data that they need to know to connect with businesses and nonprofits. So we really pride ourselves in making sure that our profiles are updated annually. So anyone who wants to get in touch with you or learn more about your new programming or events that are happening can find that easily.
And how about donors? I think the relationship with donors is something that organizations really are worried about, how to transmit the best image they can to be reliable. Can you explain in deep how the accreditation can help this relationship with donors?
Absolutely. Donors are looking for confidence before they give. When an organization is BBB accredited, they've really done the heavy lifting up front to convey to donors that they're a sound organization, that they are trustworthy and transparent, and that the information that they have provided is accurate and public. They really need to convey that the organization is worthy of funding and support. In a recent donor trust survey, it was found that 73% say that it's very, very important to trust a charity before giving, and only 19% say that they highly trust charities. That leaves 10% that are optimistic about the sector becoming more trustworthy over time. So trust in nonprofits is critical. So when you ask if this is important or how it's important for donors, these are sobering statistics that really speak to the importance of accreditation, of a nonprofit being trusted, of a third-party evaluator like BBB helping a nonprofit build their donor base and increase that confidence in giving. We really love that you can take your BBB profile, print it out. It has a nice overview of the 20 standards, and we suggest if you're meeting with a supporter or a donor, make sure you have a copy of that profile. Put it on top of any grant applications that go out. You really need to tell your story and let these donors know that you really are worthy of their support. And that's how we really work to help our organizations that are accredited.
That's great. And I heard BBB offers a profile page for accredited charities. Can you tell us what information is available through this profile and who uses it?
Yes, I have mentioned the profile a couple times. Initially, when I'm getting to know an organization or an organization comes to me and says that they're interested in accreditation, we always make sure that the first thing we do is start that profile. Once you become accredited, then that profile expands. It has all of the information included from the charity evaluation that you just spent time submitting documentation to. So the profile is really your calling card. It's how people are going to find your organization. They're going to be able to go to bbb.org and either enter your organization name, or it can be by category, whatever type of nonprofit, and the area, and they will come up with a list, and they can click on your nonprofit, and that will take you directly to your profile. That profile will have your name, your address, phone number, email, website, your mission, your vision, and then once again, they will be able to click into any of those 20 standards for charity accountability and learn about what they're interested in learning. Who sits on your board? What's been your programming of late? What do your financials say in a nice little pie graph that's easy to understand instead of pouring through that 990? It really is the go-to place to learn about your nonprofit.
That's great. I think it's very helpful.
It is very helpful.
You mentioned about your facility, and I heard that the third sector enterprise are giving some lectures for nonprofits, some workshops here.
Yes, they are. They are accredited with Better Business Bureau. So again, they are able to use our space free of charge, and we love having them in. So they are doing an entire series, everything from board development and governance and fundraising and grant writing. And I highly suggest to everybody in the community, whether you sit on a board or you work for a nonprofit, you're a volunteer, or you'd like to learn more about the sector, that you get involved and come to some of these classes. You can learn so much about the work that's being done in the Northern Colorado and Wyoming communities, how you can be involved, how you can sit on a board, and especially how you can support an organization.
That's great. Do you have any more tips that you can give to our audience here today?
Oh, tips. I think I would like to encourage you to say yes to BBB Charity Accreditation. Whether you're a large or small organization, new or established, or have a strong board or looking to further develop engagement, BBB Charity Evaluation really can do nothing but benefit your organization. We've made it easy. We've made it free, and of course we're giving you the support that you need. So we're always an email or a phone call away. You can visit us off of the I-25 and Windsor exit in Fort Collins, stop in and say hi. But we would love to have you join the currently 85 accredited charities in the Northern Colorado and Wyoming region, and let us help you align with the BBB brand and really take your nonprofit organization to the next level.
Thank you, Jennifer. I think all the information you shared with us was really, really important. And I think you're amazing and very confident person. And holding your hand during this process will make a huge difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bettina.
Thank you for listening to Wisdom for Nonprofits. To hear past and future episodes, please subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast channel. We appreciate your reviews and suggestions for future show topics. If you have a question or a suggestion, please write to us at podcast@wity.tech. More resources are available for you at our website, wity.tech. And please join us in the Wisdom for Nonprofits group on LinkedIn. Wisdom for Nonprofits is copyright 2019 by Bettina Meyer-Flug and wity.tech. All rights reserved.